Hi there, and welcome to Minnie and the Boomers, Season 1, Episode 3. Episode 3! I'm giving a little more energy today. My name's Jason, the father figure in this podcast, and with me as always is...
Matthew, hey!
Matthew! He's the son, or the Minnie, as it might be otherwise termed, because I'm making it a thing. Minnie is a thing now. All right, so one thing that I wanted to make perfectly clear to people is it's been mentioned that, first of all, I'm not a boomer, and secondly, Matthew is not a millennial. Isn't that true, Matthew?
No, I'm not.
Now, being a true Gen Xer, as I am, I could give a crap who is a minion and who is not a mini, but I stand corrected. In fact, this misstep that we've taken, or I've taken, I guess, actually only makes the title of the podcast all that much funnier because neither of the titles is correct. Isn't that right, Matthew?
Yes, you came up with the name.
Yeah, well, we did. Remember?
Sure, yeah.
Remember, it was a joint effort.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Because you said, how about, what'd you say, Tone in the Loke?
Yes.
Or, no, what was it? The Captain and Tennille, you said, but I said, that's already a band, we can't use that. And then you said, what? I've never heard of that band because, of course, you're a mini, and you wouldn't know who the Captain and Tennille was from the 1970s. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Captain and Tennille?
No.
Oh, you're missing out on some great tunes. I couldn't name any for you because, once again, I was born in 74, so it's before my time officially. So Matthew is, in fact, a Gen Z, or Z, depending where you're from. Z, I guess, if you're in Canada. Z, if you're in the States. And I always thought that was kind of funny. Well, I guess I say always thought. I thought since last Thursday's taping that it was funny because...
Taping.
What would you call it?
Recording.
Same thing, right?
Well, not really, because it's not on tape now, is it?
Well, technically the hard drive is...
No, it's a CD.
It's not a CD either.
Yeah, it is.
You're a little out to lunch. It's not. You're right. It's not a tape, but it's not a CD either.
Well, it's still not a tape.
And it's not a CD. So, you want to change it the time? I keep making that mistake, and it really freaks Matthew out. He's like, 75 minutes? That's the beats. 75 beats. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, I always thought, because the name millennial to me would be someone born in the new millennium. Wouldn't that make the most sense, people? Matthew, what do you think?
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense.
But in fact, millennials were 1985 to 1995 approximately, maybe a little bit later depending on what source you look at. So technically a millennial is a generation after me. Is that right? Gen Y, I guess, basically?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the Zoomer, which Matthew is technically, is anybody born after 95, 98, would be considered a Generation Z. Oh, you left the dog outside. You mind getting him for me, please?
Yeah, no problem. I got you.
I'll do my best filling in while you're performing your menial tasks of dog canine keeping. That's better than I was going to say doggy doing, but that sounds wrong.
Yeah, a little bit.
What? I can't hear you too far from my mic.
A little bit, yeah. Sounds a bit weird.
A little bit. So, all that to say that the boomer and the mini, neither of us are either of those two things, which is kind of funny. I mean, let's be honest.
That was a joke of it.
Yeah. It was planned from the very beginning, right, Matt?
Yeah, obviously.
Absolutely.
We're not that stupid.
No, not at all.
Are these real cranberries?
Yes, they're real cranberries. Matthew's pointing to a pot that my wife has lovingly decorated on the table with pine needle stems, a glass mason jar half filled with water, or it could be vodka, who knows.
Probably
and
vodka.
There is a two deep layer of cranberries, because as you may or may not know from the cranberry commercials, cranberries float. They float.
Don't every grape float? Grapes don't float?
I don't know. You want to check? Hold on, I'll go buy some grapes.
All right. Well, I'll hold on to the podcast.
You'll hold down the fort?
Yeah.
Oh wait, this isn't a fort. It's a house.
Well, no, because that's an. You know what, Dad?
It's a turn of phrase, son.
You know what?
It's a saying.
Boomer. Let's continue. Let's leave this thing alone. This joke. Do you have any topics?
Well, last week was fun. The supplemental.
Yeah.
I know we've got a crazy number of views. It's crazy.
4.
No, it's more than that. I checked. It's like 45. We're getting really popular. It's really hard. It's hard for us to get out of the doorways because our heads are so inflated now.
Our egos, they're so big.
With how popular we've become. But anyways, you had some topics. Why don't you just rattle them off and we'll pick a couple.
Well, okay, so there's well, we've never talked about my eyebrow.
Oh, story.
Yes. We're starting off with a story here about the time I shaved my eyebrow when I was younger. When I was a yee lad, like 2 weeks ago.
6?
No, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, probably 6.
5 maybe. And your mother left one of her armpit shavers.
I guess you can tell the story.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. We're listening. That's just Jeremy. He's got a very high-pitched voice.
He's not very smart.
Welcome to the... Is this your thing?
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah, could you talk a bit louder?
God, I can't wait till we can afford a studio in 2063. Go ahead, Matt. You were telling your story.
Yeah, but my eyebrow when I shove it.
You shot it?
Yeah, I shot it. What do you want?
Is this a perfect time to do it?
You want to join in?
No, I wanna recommend my channel. It's Starla. We do. I recently
We're
just
just
uploaded.
gonna leave this, right? Yeah, we're just gonna.
I recently.
Leave this out. Yeah.
I recently just uploaded a Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign. 16 views, not bad. 24 could always go higher. I need a little help from some viewers out there. Yeah, I hope.
And that was your time. Thank you for your
very
ad.
much.
How much will you be paying us for this?
Nothing.
$30 a second.
Oh,
I guess it's not going in, huh?
That was a true. Wow.
Sorry. Bye.
Enjoy your stream.
Thanks, man. It's not streaming actually. It's recording on tape.
Podcast. It's not a tape.
It's
sorry.
stream, though.
No, it's not. What?
Oh no.
What?
It's just a YouTube
Sorry,
YouTube video. YouTube.
Zoomer.
Yeah.
You can go upstairs. All right. God, this
Or
kid.
Minnie? That's what you
Such an.
Matt, you still choking like last time? Yeah, okay.
Oh, he's making a jab at the first episode we listened to where I was walking all over you, apparently. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's every day in this house, isn't it?
Me walking all over you?
Yeah.
That's why you feel so good in your back, because I'm always cracking it. Go ahead, tell your story.
What's this? Oh, yeah. About the time I shaved my eyebrow. Yeah, I was like 6? 5 or 6, I don't remember.
We've already established it's somewhere between 5 and 6. You can continue with your story.
So
since you don't want me to tell it, you better tell it.
Do you want to tell it?
Damn well.
Do you want to tell it?
Go.
So I was taking a bath because that's one thing, and it's a lot nicer than a shower because the shower is just like a bunch of knives into your back. Yeah, do you have something to say about showers and baths?
No.
You gave a look.
No, I didn't. You must have been looking at somebody else.
There's no one else, and the dog's in the other room. So what's your problem with the baths?
Continue.
But yeah, I was in the bath and I saw my mom's razor on the little like
straight razor. It was, by the way.
A razor's a razor, isn't it?
No.
What's the difference?
Straight razor is what the old barbers. It's like a knife you flip out and you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it was funny that a 6 or 5-year-old, depending. I mean, do you want to continue talking about how old you were, or?
I think I was 7.
Maybe you're 4.
Yeah.
But a straight razor would have been funny if she first of all, if she used that.
Wasn't it?
No, it was a safety razor or a Bic razor.
All right, so moving on from your little boomer.
Sorry, I have so many more words in my vocabulary. Continue.
You know what? God, so rude. But yeah, so I saw the razor. I'm like, ooh, I want to raise something because that looks cool in like TV shows and stuff. Cause
you want to shave something, not raise it.
Okay, I thought I said shave. My bad. But so I decided, shave my leg hair. Like the little bit that I have. Shave my
peach fuzz.
Yeah, my arm hair, and then I'm like, I don't know, I'm not satisfied. So I took the razor, and I shaved my left eyebrow, clean off. And this was like in the middle of the school year in winter. So at school, I don't know if anyone noticed it.
Well, your eyebrows are very blonde, We didn't notice it at first either. It's just
Yeah.
you were really aloof, and you were kind of hiding your eye, like walking in with your hand on your eye. Hey guys, how's it going? Or like, what's wrong with him? I'll tell you something about the story so far. I did not know you shaved the rest of your body completely before you went to your eyebrow.
No, only my left arm and my left leg.
Oh, what's with the left side?
I don't know. I don't really like it. I'll be honest.
Oh, so you wanted to shave all the hair off it?
Yeah.
Give it a nice sheen?
Yes. So anyway, I was gonna say something, but you cut me off, and then I forgot. So
Well,
that's
because
why.
this is a joint podcast.
Oh, is
so
it?
we're both allowed
Okay.
to chime in. But continue.
Well, no, I actually forgot what I was gonna say. So
You said, and then I said you were covering your eye. You had school. You said you went to school.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you weren't sure if anybody would notice, and then I chimed in, which apparently I should know.
But yeah, I don't think anyone noticed. Oh no, yeah. How you guys found out was actually you found hair on the razor, my eyebrow hair on the razor blade.
So we went and looked at the because it was the
Yeah,
same day.
because yeah, Mom went in the bath after me,
Oh, okay.
and she was gonna I don't know shave her legs. Or
She's
something.
like, who didn't clean off this razor?
Yeah. And
Wait,
she's like,
this is blonde hair.
and she's like, wait,
It's almost
but
transparent.
Yeah. Well, it was wet, so it was a bit brownish, but yeah, there's a lot of hair there, and some in the bath, I think.
What was probably the most impressive, we did take a picture of it, and he looks so sorrowful in this picture. I've never seen anybody shave an eyebrow so cleanly. I mean, he was in the bathtub. I don't know how you did this. You didn't even look in the mirror, you said, right?
No, I was
So
in the
he
bath.
cleanly shaved his entire left eyebrow off. I mean, it was perfect. He really should become
Barber?
some type of barber who uses safety razors to shave people's faces instead of
Flip, yes.
flip blades. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes, that was a funny story, and you got in a little bit of trouble for that, didn't you?
Probably.
But then we
yeah.
said don't tell anybody because it was kind of embarrassing.
And now 3 people will hear this, and it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
I
great.
mean, like 200. Yeah, 200 people. Yeah, because there's so many listeners.
That's right.
Right,
You're
Dad?
right. You got it. Yeah. So, Matt,
Yeah.
tell me about the jobs you've had.
The jobs I had. Why not? Sure. So as you guys,
What was your first job?
Well, I was gonna go into that. My
What
first.
was your first job?
Give me a second, God.
Just tell us about your first job.
My-
The listener wants
Well,
to
how
know.
about my second job first? Then go
Okay,
back.
what about your second job?
No, you know what? I want to go to my first.
Okay, why don't you tell us about
Okay,
your
so
first job?
my first job was back in
Back in
3 years
says
ago.
The Minnie.
Well,
when, so much younger
when I
and
was
so much
14,
more inexperienced.
When I was 14, so
almost 15.
no, didn't I start when I was 13?
He's chewing a sock. Do you want to go grab that, Matt?
He's having fun.
No.
Yeah,
Get the
he-
sock out of Jeremy's mouth, would you? Oh, I mean Strider. Boy, our listeners were in for a treat there. Yeah, it's your sock.
Could you not, my guy? Thanks.
So your first job,
My
you were
first
almost
job,
15.
I was almost. I thought I started when I was 13. No.
I don't think you're allowed to start. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, probably. But
could
let's
write
say,
history,
let's
right?
let's say close to 15. So my first job was at Ep3 Saint Bruno, the best place in Saint Bruno, now closed because
Defunct. It's now defunct.
defunct because I don't really know why, but it was the best place to eat in Saint Bruno, and had the best crepes in the world.
Have you ever been to another creperie?
Oh, no, I'm saying the best place in the world.
Oh, I thought you said they're the best crepes in the world.
No, but best place in the world.
Huh. You know what's funny about you working at the creperie?
Yeah.
I also used to work at the creperie.
And my
funny?
brother too. Before
Yeah.
he started eating socks. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, well,
This is a job
crepes,
now.
socks, crepes. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Socks fiber, right? A lot
But-
of fiber in socks.
But yeah, I did the plonge. The plonge means the dishwasher.
Yeah.
I was the dishwasher back then, and I wasn't very good. I'll be honest.
I thought you were pretty good. I heard good things. Is that just because I knew your mother?
And probably because I knew my mother.
Oh, wow. So did you get better when you went to your second job?
Yeah.
Where was your second job?
Pizzeria Saint Bruno.
Oh, and that's the best place ever, right?
Take it or leave it.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's leave it at that. I don't want anybody in Saint Bruno to listen to this and get all up in arms because my son has some kind of problem with Pizza Saint Bruno.
Oh, met pizzas are softer, but besides the point, well, they're better. I mean, like,
Softer?
well, Fluffier. All right, get off my back, old man.
Tell me about this job, first job.
My first
Other
job.
than you saying you weren't very good at it, did you enjoy it? What were your experiences? How did you feel? Did anything happen that made you laugh or made you cry? I mean, the listener wants to know.
Something that almost made me cry, all right, and it's because the only reason it almost made me cry is I knew the managers like very well, and I had broken one of their plates, and I felt real bad.
One plate?
Yeah, one plate, and I was like, oh god.
You thought you were gonna get fired?
Yeah.
Or at least your mother would hear about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what your son did? He came in today and threw a plate right on the floor, damn it. Like that?
Yeah.
But in French, because they were French.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say yes in French, but yes, actually, I was scared that they would tell my parents.
That you broke a plate. You know, that's part of the business, right?
Yeah, I know,
Plates
I know.
get broken.
Yeah,
Sometimes
now,
servers break them. Sometimes busboys break them.
Now I know. And the best thing about that was free bread. I could eat all the bread I could.
Yeah, Matthew, what you may or may not know is at the creperie, they used to actually have to buy more bread when Matthew would work or when he would eat there because they'd just put little bread baskets out with little mini loaves as well as like, what was that called? What's that kind of bread called that's dried? Not stale bread, but it's got butter. Toasted, I guess, but it's really thinly sliced. It's a baguette thinly sliced, and they put butter and garlic on it, and they toast it.
And a bit of salt.
And my son, I think, would basically eat about one baguette at every sitting.
Maybe more. What do you want? Yeah, pretty much it. It would be my lunches there. I would practically only eat that all the time. I don't think that was healthy for me, but hey, what you gonna do about it? Also, I would always after my shifts get free food, free crepes, and I would get banana and chocolate crepes because that's the best. Anything else is not that great. But also, they made this weird breakfast poutine with what is it called?
Oh yes, breakfast poutine.
It was like
with hash browns.
Hash browns?
Well, diced roasted potatoes
in cubic form.
That's what diced means.
That weird
cubic form.
that is your mic working?
Yes, it's working just fine. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, there was no line. But with that yellow sauce, not mustard.
Hollandaise
sauce with cheese.
Yes, cheese curds.
Cheese curds. I'm not.
And sliced sausages.
Oh yes, I forgot that part.
And poached egg on top.
So it's like how you make it. You eat Benedict egg or whatever it's called. The
Hollandaise sauce.
Yeah, no, but
eggs Benedict.
Yeah,
poached egg.
Yes.
Okay.
You eat that.
You eat it.
You eat it, then you puke it back up into the bowl of poutine. Then it's perfect. That's how you make it. That's how I made it.
Did you hire any birds for this task?
No, I wasn't.
I think the correct term is regurgitate. Sounds a little better. Because I remember when they first had the menus, it would say vomited egg, and people had a problem with that. But then they used the French term regurgité, and people were like, "Oh, how fancy!"
Yeah, sounds French, yeah. So yeah, that was.
And that's why they're closed, because he used to puke on all the food. Upchuck, hurl, blow chunks, drive the porcelain bus, pray to the porcelain god.
Oh god.
What else haven't I used? Just a bunch more. Did I say upchuck? Yeah, I said upchuck. Puke. Oh,
all right, let's go to my second job.
Okay, sure.
Do you want to go to my second job, or you have more questions about my first one?
I think that was pretty good. You went through your experiences, your one time that you screwed up. I know you screwed up big time at the second job, getting cheese.
Come on, man.
And it still triggers him to this day.
It's the worst thing ever, man.
Well, why don't you tell us about it then, Matthew? Just lean into the microphone and release the demons, as it were.
I was working a hard shift, there was like a lot of people, and I was still plongeon because, and I got really good at it. And there was like these two stations of plonge, like one side with like pots and pans, and the others with
Two dishwashing stations for those anglophones in the audience.
Didn't I say? What did I say?
Plonge.
Oh man, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you translate.
But yeah. So there was one side with pots and pans, and the other with glasses and cutlery and plates. I forgot the word for plates. That's why I said that one last. Plates and bowls and stuff like that. So every night I would have to run from one side, one side more like 3 meters away. But it's, it's still kind of far because it's weirdly like placed. I can't really show it.
No, you can't because this is a podcast.
I know.
And you can't describe it either. Okay.
Well, okay, so
I can tell we're losing audience members right now. Come on, Matt. Come on, you can do this, Matt.
How?
You can do this.
Oh, I don't know, man. I usually don't talk this much. I don't.
Oh, you just ride on my coattails?
Yeah.
You are correct, sir. Hey yo.
But,
you know what that was a reference to?
No.
It was a reference to Johnny Carson and Ed
Norton.
McMahon.
No.
McMahon. And he was a sidekick, like Conan has Andy Richter, but he used to just sit on the couch, and then Johnny would say something. Well, and then all Ed would do would go, "Hey, you are correct, sir."
I think I saw that once.
And Dana Carvey and Phil Hartman used to spoof on it in SNL. It was very funny.
Yes.
Anyways, yes. So these 3 meter apart dishwashing
Probably
stations.
more, but whatever.
It doesn't. After this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about the details that matter and the details that don't. No, just to help your storytelling. Because although your stories are very interesting, you add details in places where you shouldn't, and then you don't add details where you should. Go ahead.
So yeah. Either way. Either way. Come on, man. Oh God, I don't know. He's gone. He can't hear us right now. All right. But I'm trying to get back on track. So yeah. So the cheese incident was. I got off track, man. Yeah. So yeah, the cheese incident was one time rush and everything, and I was working both stations, and I was helping out making the salads and poutine stuff that special night.
He became a salad boy. That was the actual term.
A salad boy, yes. But I would do those two jobs and would be okay at doing both. Because it would still be a lot of work, and I would still get nervous when I see like a lot of dishes on the plonge when I was dishwasher. When I was doing the salads. So either way, I'm sorry, man. So my boss, my boss asked me to go get cheese curds downstairs in the fridge. Because we ran out, so I go down. He vaguely describes where and which he wants me to get. So I'm like, all right, I'll go get them. So we were middle rush, so I had to run, and I opened I flung the door open, like that.
Ooh, very descriptive. I can almost see it.
All right, and I walked in. I looked to my right, and my neck snapped to the right, and I saw the cheese. I grabbed it. And then I went back upstairs, dropped it off, and then went back to work and did a phenomenal job until 9:30, where my boss realized the mistake that he was not clear enough on, that I did not take the right cheese bag.
What?
Yeah.
What was wrong with the cheese bag you took?
It was like a week older than the cheese I was supposed to grab. Like the expiring date was like expiring like.
So you wanted to use newer cheese? Or is it the opposite?
You wanted to get me older cheese.
Yeah. So you went up and got cheese. He wanted to get the cheese that was no good after that night, and you went and got newer cheese.
Well, no, it was still good for like a week, that cheese. And he was like, okay. So I went to get the cheese that was newer. He wanted me to get the one that was older and that was gonna expire in like 2 weeks.
Right.
So I grabbed the newer one without understanding this concept and gave it upstairs. And at like 9 o'clock or something, he came to me and said, "Which cheese did you take?" I said, "Well, the cheese that was there." He said, "Which one did I tell you to grab? The one on the right side?" Said, no. I said to blah, 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 because I don't remember. So...
Minnie.
Okay, you tell me everything your boss told you on your first job, huh? Back in 1981. God.
Oh, if it had happened 3 years ago, I would have remembered. But continue.
And it was... Okay, either way. Okay, I see how it is.
So what happened?
Boomer.
What was the result? What was your
So
punishment?
There was no punishment. He just yelled at me and like was real mad at me for grabbing the wrong cheese, even though he used that cheese and the other cheese like before my next shift, which was like next Friday.
That's that monster.
Like, what do you mean that monster? You making fun?
He flipped out. I mean, you said the guy liked to flip out, though, so he was a little maladjusted, right?
Yeah.
We won't name names or where you were working.
We did name where I worked.
No, it could have been any place. We didn't say specifically which one it was.
Oh, yeah. True. But yeah, that was my second job, and like a few months after that, I quit. I don't want to talk how I quit. That's gonna be yeah. Let's just go to my next job if you want, or do you want to talk about something else? You want to talk about something?
I want to tell a story, Matthew.
Yay!
You may or may not know. One of my jobs I had as a child, not a child, as a young adult, I had finished college. So this was probably like 4 jobs in, because I worked at Kmart for 4 years or 5 years, and as a stock boy. And then every summer, the 2 summers of my college, I had to go and do co-op work. So I had finished everything. I was done college. I didn't have a job in the field I wanted to study in, which was landscape architecture. So I saw in the paper a job that I would recommend you never do. Do you know what that job was, Matt?
Night shift at a tea boxing factory.
No, that's worse than that. It was worse than that. No, I was more along the lines of selling vacuums door to door.
You did that?
Yeah, I did it for a month. Actually, I did it for 3 weeks, because the deal was if you do it for a month, they'll pay you $1,500 for a month's work, whether you sell any vacuums or not. So they would give us little cards with the name of the customer and the address, and I would go and knock on the door and say, "Hi, my name's Jason. I'm here selling Kirby vacuum cleaners." Kirby.
Okay, Kirby. I'm like, okay.
They look like ladies. And so what happened was I went and I must have did about maybe 20 presentations in the course of the 3 weeks. And, and then I got fired. So right before they were supposed to give me the $1,500, they fired me, which I realized soon thereafter that it was a scam, that they were obviously just trying to get some kids to sell vacuum cleaners. And then if you didn't do it, well, we just fired before the month's up. So I didn't get any money for that month. But I remember driving. I remember when that was?
Why?
Do you know what the soundtrack was to that month for me?
No, I do not.
It was September the 11th, 1995. The Great Escape was released.
Oh, yes.
So I had that CD in my car, and all I did was listen to that Blur album the entire time. So I always laugh now when I'm like, when did I sell vacuum? Oh, it was when The Great Escape came out. So in September or October, I sold vacuum cleaners for an entire month. Oh, sorry, 3.5 weeks.
Do you have PTSD attacks when you hear the album The Great Escape? Because like,
no, it was actually the reverse. It's a fond memory. Like, I mean, I'm glad I did it. I learned a valuable lesson, and nobody got hurt. You see how that works? Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little story.
Oh, go ahead.
So my third job was actually making boxes for boxes of tea at a tea boxing factory.
Right.
Which was a night shift job.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
He used to carry a knife because he worked at night, and he had to ride the bike there and back. So it was horrifying. He'd have the knife in his waistband.
Lapel.
No, it'd be dangerous if you felt the bike. It was in your waistband, right?
Yeah, my waistband.
Right.
But anyway,
remember that guy stopped you and he's like,
"You want a raccoon?
Give me your money." And then he pulled out this little knife, and Matthew was like, "That's not a knife." And he pulled out this Bowie knife, which was 3 feet long. He said, "Oh, that's a knife."
Well, no, the actual story was, "Give me all your money," and he pulled out a raccoon out of his backpack, and I decided just to ride off. He couldn't catch me, so
even the raccoon couldn't catch you. Raccoons aren't known for running fast.
Well, it was kind of fat, and I don't think it was alive. I'll be honest.
That was a dead raccoon he was carrying in his backpack that he was using to taunt.
I think so. Like, how would you catch a raccoon? You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
That's soldier on. Tell us your funny story about teabagging.
I see what you did. Okay,
What?
Whatever. So
Wasn't your job to teabag all night?
yeah, teabag all night.
Oh no, bag tea.
Yeah,
Box tea.
Yeah,
I'm
box tea.
sorry. I got my wires crossed there.
So like on the last shift, last night of my job, I was working and like the machine broke down. It would usually always do that.
What machine?
The tea wrapping.
Like the cellophane?
What?
The plastic?
Yeah, the plastic.
Cellophane?
Yeah. Bless you.
Another word. I'm teaching Minnie.
Wait, do I? Oh, I don't have it anymore. Okay, so either way.
He's looking at his fingers, saying, "I don't have it anymore."
Yeah.
Magic touch.
Okay.
Tell the story. Why do you keep stalling?
Why do you keep insulting me? But okay. So on the last shift, I was fixing the little machine, the pretty big machine, like half of her table right here.
The cellophane machine.
Yes, the wrapping machine.
Wrapping.
Yes, it would. It had speakers on the side. It would blast great tunes. only mumble rap, but hey,
That's a good one. Mumble rap. Good one. Yep. Go ahead.
But yes, so the machine was broken, so I was trying to fix it. I was moving boxes inside, and at one point on the last shift, I decided to hit the element that would melt the plastic around the box and seal the box, in which I burnt my finger.
Why did you want to hit it?
No, I did it by accident. I was pushing the boxes back, and I hit the side, which was hot, and I burnt my finger.
So that was the parting gift you got from that place?
Yeah, I said that as a joke, but it really hurt.
No, I can imagine it must have hurt because those.
Oh no, there it is.
Those cellophane packing heaters are pretty hot. No, they are. It's got to melt the plastic. Plastic
right.
Doesn't. What?
All right, yeah, I thought you were sarcastic for a second.
No, it's hot. I know.
All right. So yeah, that was my funny, weird story.
Interesting story.
I have a question.
What's that?
So you watched Mandalorian 6, right?
The last one, yes.
Yeah, the latest one. Yeah, 6. Did you like it?
Yes, it was very good. Bill Burr was in it.
Yeah, I told you it was going to be in it, and you're like,
William
no,
Burr.
not going to be in it. And I was like,
No,
yeah.
I remember I looked at the cast. When you first wanted me to watch it, I checked on whatever, Wikipedia or Google, and I typed in Mandalorian, and it said cast, and Bill Burr was there, and I was like, what? And then I was looking at all the episodes, and Bill Burr was in there, and I was like, is he a stormtrooper? Is he one of the guys all dressed up and you can't see his face? I mean, it was confusing, but all the answers were there in the last show where they got stuck on a penal ship.
Yes, prison ship. Yeah.
No, penal ship.
Yes.
You remember? Did you see the shape of it? It was a penal ship.
Yes, sure. I guess.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Okay.
The ship that had prisoners on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, penal ship, like a penal colony, penal ship.
Like Australia?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Except this is a spaceship. So I'll tell you this. This is some spoilers. I was shocked.
Shocked.
Because at some point in the show, once again, spoiler alert. So if you don't want to hear anything about this episode of The Mandalorian with Bill Burr,
don't leave.
Skip ahead. I would say 1 full minute. And ready, set, go. All right. So what happens is at some point he gets double crossed, the Mandalorian, and there is a fleet or armada that's going to be arriving within like 10 minutes to blow up this penal spaceship. So what happens is the Mandalorian gets kicked into a prison cell, and I was watching, and as a full-grown adult, I said to myself out loud, oh, he's never going to get out of this. I was really like, how the F are they going to get him out of this without it being cheesy? And I'll tell you, they got him out of it, and it made a lot of sense, so I was pretty impressed.
Was it cheesy?
No, it wasn't cheesy at all, and I actually stood up and I was like, bravo, Mandalorian. Bravo!
Yeah, I knew a bit.
All right, well, if you have fast forwarded, you probably fast forwarded for another 15 seconds, 10 seconds rather. So we'll just talk about this and talk about that, and we're back. So that was the spoiler story that I told. But continue.
But yes, that was a great part in the show. I like the part where he takes down the 4 robots.
That's cool too. Yep.
Yeah, alone. Yeah. That was epic. Made me proud. Being proud of my Mando boy.
Mando boy.
Yep.
Is that like a new like type of.
Yeah, it's it's a gangsta thing. You wouldn't get
Oh,
it.
Mando Boys.
Yeah.
Yo,
No.
yo, we're the Mando Boys in the house.
But yeah, that was I really liked that episode. And you know who voiced the robot in Zero? You know, with the big eyes, mirrored eyes.
I looked after. I didn't see who was it.
You know the guy from IT Crowd?
Oh, really?
The Afro guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was him, yeah.
Forget his name. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
The voice sounds so familiar, and that's probably why I didn't see his name because I don't know his name by heart. Like I don't know it.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm disabled.
No,
Not
not
him.
him.
I know,
Yeah,
it was
the
the other
other. Yeah,
The Afro guy, apparently.
yeah,
The fellow with the Afro.
yeah. I don't know his name. So.
What's his name on the show?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Oh my God, it's bugged me.
You have a phone to your left.
I know, but it's on the tip of my tongue. But
Okay.
anyways,
I'll just bug you for the rest
what?
of the
Okay,
episode. And
now
you'll be like,
I've got another question
Yes.
for you. What do you think of the last Rick and Morty?
I didn't watch it, and you know it.
Oh no, you didn't watch it. I thought you were a fan, man.
Hey, you remember when I'm the one who showed you this show?
It's so funny. You're gonna die when you see it.
I just want everyone to go on the record. I showed my dad a Rick and Morty,
Actually, it was
and,
Eric.
and my
It was
brother.
Eric.
No, and my brother.
Your cousin, my nephew showed it.
My cousin told you about it, and I showed it to you. I was like, "Here you go, my child," and you're like,
So
"Oh, thank you very much."
want props for being the messenger?
Yep.
Oh, sure. So good job being the messenger.
Isn't Jesus Christ the messenger?
Of who?
God.
Does Jesus exist? Does God exist?
Welcome back to the non-Christian podcast.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Matthew.
Oh God.
God, or the supreme being, is not just a Christian belief.
I know.
It's you know how many organized religions there are in the world approximately?
A lot.
3,000.
That's a lot.
So I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't believe in God or a higher being. But what Matthew's told me is he doesn't believe any of that, but he does believe in the devil and he worships him.
Great guy. Love his.
He actually has headphones that he wears that have little devil horns on them.
Yep.
Because he is really into the devil worship.
Yep.
He
so many goats.
Yeah, goat leg pants.
Yep.
Yeah, goat fur pants. No, goat. Anyway, yeah.
No, I meant Did you not know I sacrificed goats?
You sacrifice. That what that smell was?
Yeah, in like in the middle of the night. Don't you ever hear like a loud scream?
Like a goat scream?
Yeah.
Or you screaming as you kill a goat?
Mix of both. A little bit of both.
Can you give us an idea what that scream would sound like?
It's too high pitched for them to understand it, so it would be worthless.
But you think I would hear it?
No.
You asked if I hear it in the middle of the night.
Well, the thing is, it's more of a distance thing, you know?
So further away you are, the more I can hear it? Huh. And what's that called scientifically? I've never heard of that phenomenon.
It's called I'm telling a bunch of lie-initis. It's crazy.
Oh my God, are you trying to tell me you're not a devil worshiper?
Maybe.
Why do you have that pentagram
medallion?
Oh,
that's just triangles, man. Just triangles.
It's just triangles. It's only got 5 points. There's no triangles, man.
Well, yeah.
I'm thinking of the Star of David that's got 6 points, and that is not a pentagram.
You know what?
So
maybe I am. Maybe I'm. Well, do you think I'm trying to say something here? Do you think maybe?
No, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know.
All right, let's continue. Anything else you want to talk about?
So my first job was delivering the Penny Saver on Archdeacon Drive.
Oh, you're so old.
Then my second job, and that was a good job because it was a lot of work, and the bag, like, you get this bag full of newspapers you got to lug around, or they give you like a little cart that you put all like 100 newspapers in. But they used to pay me by check, so they just sent me a check every 2 weeks. Then I basically got a promotion, and I started delivering the Guardian, which was the newspaper in Brampton. Ooh. The problem with that job was, first of all, the papers were like 4 times bigger, but secondly, I had to collect. You know what that means?
Get the money?
Yeah, so I would get I'd have a little notepad, but on the notepad would be all these like tearaway tabs, and on the top of the notepad would be the name of each address that I had to deliver to, and then I'd have to go weekly and say, could I have my $1.25 for your 2 Guardians? And they would pay me, but I would leave it. I would wait like a month because I didn't like collecting, because you knock on the door and they come to the door and you're like, So it would really piss people off that I go, can I get $12? Because when I was young, $12 was a lot of money.
Yeah, now it's when I get paid every hour.
Exactly. But keep in mind, Matthew, I delivered 50 papers times 12. I didn't do 50 hours worth of work. In your face.
But you did more work, so...
Yeah, but that's why I got massive quads.
Okay, Boomer.
You want to check out my glutes?
No, thank you. When you look at me like that, are you having a stroke? Are you?
Strokes are not something you joke about.
I'm not. It's a serious question.
If I'm having a stroke?
Yeah.
Do you know the signs of a stroke?
Yes.
Go.
Left arm won't go up. Droopy side of face. And
Only the left side? You and your left side. You've really got an issue with left sides.
Isn't it like left or right side?
I don't know.
No, it is left side. Oh, yeah. Wait, I'll go check my notes real quick.
Oh, for another topic? Okay, now
do you have
I'll
a
fill in.
topic?
So then, after I finished the journalism stint when I was 13 and 14, I then started working as mentioned earlier, as a stock boy at Kmart, store 5077
Ooh.
on Queen Street and the Highway 410 in Brampton. I did that for about 4 years. I have a bunch of funny stories, but there was one especially funny story. Was we were screwing around in a stock room, and the stock room is 2 stories high, and there's like a conveyor belt, an automated conveyor belt that you turn. Have this button on the bottom and top to stop it and start it. So you put boxes on the conveyor belt and it'll go up or down. So we were screwing around, me and a couple other stock boys, and I remember I had a football, and I threw the guy was at the bottom, and I threw the football down, but I didn't see him. He didn't catch it. And all of a sudden, the manager poked his head over like, "Hey, what's going on up there?" And the other stock boy was like, "I don't know what he was doing. I was just trying to do my job." He sold me out, that rat. Anyways.
What's his name? This rat's name?
The rat's name?
Yeah.
It was Greg. He used to be in a band called Demon Barf. Not Demon Regurgitate, Demon Barf.
That was already taken?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I think he was going for the shock factor. Oh. It was a kind of a comedy band.
No, hopefully.
Greg was his name. He was the drummer.
Right,
he was the lead singer. I apologize.
So, Greg, if you've ever gotten a football ball hitting your head at Kmart back in what year would you think?
Oh, he didn't hit his head.
Oh, I didn't.
No, he saw the manager coming because I couldn't see the manager, so he just walked away. So I threw the ball down, and the manager saw the ball being thrown down and was like, "Hey, what's going on up there?"
Oh,
and
okay.
I got in trouble.
Really, for throwing the ball?
But not too much trouble, because you know why?
Why?
Nepotism.
He was your dad?
Pardon?
What's nepotism?
You're correct, except you think the manager was my dad? No, because my father worked at the head office. That's how I got the job. I mean, I technically got it on my own merit, but let's be honest. I got the job because my father worked at the head office.
Oh, okay.
So they cut me some slack that one time. I didn't screw around a lot, but when I did, I made sure it was epic.
Oh, God, stop saying epic.
I made sure it was awesome. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Boomer. Do you want to?
I made sure it was the bee's knees.
All right, so
the cat's pajamas. You see, see.
Okay, you can lower the boomer down, you Boomer. So back in the day, well, like in
1990, here we go again with Matthew's famous 1990.
1999, you worked at Planet Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I started Planet Hollywood in 1996.
Now, I have a question. What would you do with ice cubes and fryers?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you mean a story I told you in confidence because there are legal ramifications to what I did, and now you're bringing it up in this podcast?
Oh, really?
Gee, thanks, Matt. Thanks for throwing me under the bus. Do you feel better about yourself, Matt?
I feel like Greg, but...
Wait,
is there a real legal...
No, there aren't any.
Okay.
So on the second floor of Planet Hollywood in Montreal, so by that point it was the year 99 when I moved to Montreal.
It's no longer there.
No, it's no longer there. It is now a Zara clothing store, I believe. No.
Isn't it Zora?
Zara?
Oh, I thought it was like Zorro, but with the A at the end. No. But yeah, go ahead.
It's not a Zara, it's something else. Anyways, it's like 3 stories because it was 3 stories. So we were on the top floor, and on the top floor was the kitchen and the restaurant. And on the second floor, that was the bar. So you'd be able to get food in the bar, and they'd bring your food down the escalator or down the elevator to the bar. But if you're upstairs in the restaurant and you wanted a drink, they wouldn't have the servers go down to the bar because the bar was already busy. So one of the jobs I had there was as a service bartender. So I was a bartender in the kitchen. There's a little bar where I would mix all the drinks and give them the servers the drinks. So I used to, me and the
Fryer.
And the cooks.
Oh.
The cooks were directly opposite me. It was probably about 6 meters since we're using meters. So I was on.
Oh, sorry, feet.
What? How many feet is 6 meters?
9. 9. No. Wait. Give me a second.
It's 3.3 feet per meter.
Oh my god. Okay, my bad.
So how many? 3 feet times 3 is 9 plus 0.3.
So I was right?
What?
Sorry, I said 9. I said 9 feet.
Yeah, but I didn't say 3 meters. I said 6 meters.
Oh, sorry,
You
18 feet.
Plus the 0.3 per every meter. So, anyways, I was sitting on one end, and then my bar was there, and I was facing the cooks who were 18, 19 feet away on the other side of with the heaters, the food heaters and stuff. So they would throw French fries at me. So I would throw ice cubes at them. But the problem being is that directly behind some of these guys, there was the French fry oil.
The fryer.
Which was very, very hot. So they used to get panicked because if I threw too many pieces of ice in too short a time in the fryer, it would basically bubble over. They were like, time out, the fryer. And that's when I knew I had won.
Yes.
That was a fun job because I was a busboy there, then I became a server there, and then while I was serving, whenever they need me to, I would also be a service bartender. So I learned a lot at that job.
Oh, nice. Is it helping you nowadays?
I think everybody in the world should be a server for at least 6 months because it helps you learn a lot about yourself and other people. You learn to think on your feet. You learn to run when it gets busy. You learn to take orders. You'll learn to convey those orders and make sure the orders go to the right people. It's to really use a lot of different parts of your brain that you don't in most other jobs.
Oh, well, I lost half of my brain, so I can't.
Where did you lose half your brain, Matt, and why didn't you tell me about this?
The raccoon guy.
Is that why you have such trouble telling stories?
You know the raccoon guy?
Yeah?
He the next night, he caught me.
With his raccoon?
Yeah, he actually flung it at me. And like those...
By the tail?
Those like little...
Like a discus?
No, you know the little like slime hands that you would like fling and then like stick?
Yeah.
He flung the raccoon at me and hit me in the back and pulled me off my bike.
So the raccoon was that disgustingly sticky? And he pulled you off your bike?
Yeah.
And his tail was like made of plastic?
No, it's still ripped out of the raccoon when he flung it at me.
How did he pull you back then if the tail was ripped in
Well,
half?
the head?
Yeah.
It's like colonne vertebrale.
Half a brain, people. Half a brain.
What is it? It's a...
what? The spine?
Yeah, the spine.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying it in French. Well, the spine is connected to the neck, so like it would stop because like it would be the head who would hit me, who caught me, like the chin, under chin.
All right. What I need to know now, Matthew, is how did you lose half your brain in this exchange? Because at this point, I think we're getting muddled. We're getting dragged down.
All right. So either way, he pulled me off my bike.
Minutia of the story.
And like an hour later, I woke up with a incision into my skull.
Now, did he take a left or right, or did he just shave the top off?
He really took the left part of my brain. I don't know why.
Is this before or after you shaved your eyebrow off?
I'll be
Was
honest,
it the left side, and that's why you hate everything that's on the left side?
Probably. It's just unbalanced.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to ride in a car with Matthew. He never takes left turns. It takes a lot longer to get where you got to go, but it's a fun adventure.
Take a left turn, you need to go right 4 times. Wait.
You know I went to Woodstock, right?
Yeah, with that year where everything like burned down.
1999, yeah. I have a funny story about that. You want me to tell that one?
Was it Raccoon Guy again?
No, there was no Raccoon Guy.
Oh.
So,
boring.
I'm sorry. So I was working it. So I was working through Planet Hollywood, so I got to go see all the acts and go backstage. But we also...
What? You worked there?
I was working as a catering, like a Planet
caterer.
Hollywood was catering the two.
Wait, so Montreal, Planet Hollywood.
They sent a bunch of different Planet Hollywood. Montreal,
Okay.
Toronto, Vancouver.
I was like, wow.
They sent
Vancouver.
they sent. I don't know. I mean, it must have been expensive as all heck to bring them.
Yeah.
And I think they paid us $300 a day or $100 a day. I have to look up. I know I wrote it down somewhere because I wanted to remember. I mean, it wasn't much, but it was cool because we got to go to. I think it was $300 for the whole week, and so
There's 3 days, right?
we left on Thursday. We stayed in Plattsburgh on Thursday night, and then Friday morning we got in a bus. We had to take 2 buses. Anyways, the funny story. I'll tell you more about the Woodstock adventures in another podcast. Although I will tell you this one story. So on the last day when everything went to shit, pardon my French, and actually for the listener, shit isn't actually a French word.
Just go ahead.
So on the last
starting to
day,
sound
I
like
got switched to the catering tent at the big stage. That's with all the big acts. Because the rest of the time I was at a little stage and nobody ever came. It was deserted. The catering was hilarious because you're getting paid to do absolutely nothing. So I got switched. I asked somebody to switch me because I wanted to be at the big stage. So I went to the big stage and the catering, and they said, "Oh, can you deliver this food to the security guys?" So I said, "Sure." So I went out, and there was one guy. He was a security guy, and he had his leg in a cast. Or maybe it was just bandaged, but he was in a wheelchair. He had hurt himself on the job, and because he wanted to keep working, they let him keep working. But he was at one of the backstage gates to get in and out for the acts for the.
Yeah.
So we chatted a bit. I gave him his food. Hey, thanks a lot. So fast forward to the last act of the last night was the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was the first time I think Jeremy was.
Not even more.
Jeremy,
1999.
I think she was. She might not have been pregnant yet. No,
9 months. No.
Yeah, so was she?
Wait. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
or she had just gotten pregnant.
Yeah,
she just gotten pregnant.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I'd ever crowd surfed. So I thought, you know what? There's 50,000 people here. We were way at the back when we got there. So I said to the guys, the guys and girls I was with, I said, "I'm going up." So I tapped the guy on the shoulder, and the universal sign to be brought up is you put your hands together like you're gonna like this,
Yeah.
and you bring your hands up like you're gonna boost somebody over a fence, and then you do like you're hitchhiking, but up and down vertically, and you just tap someone on the shoulder. So the guy put me up, and I crowd surfed for 2 songs, and I slowly went from the back to the very front to the point where. By the time I got about 3/4 of the way to the front, they were playing a slow song, and people had their lighters out. So I was freaked out. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get burned alive here!" But I got all the way to the front, and they threw me into where the security guys are, between the stage and the crowd. And I went down. I didn't hurt myself, and I got up, and I took a picture of the band because it was right there, and the security guys were pissed off because first of all, I was there, so they grabbed me and they dragged me and they threw me out of Woodstock. Like the back of the stage was the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I'm out there and I'm like, "Oh shit, it's okay. I have my security badge," and I put my hand in my pocket and it was gone. So I was freaking out. I had no money. I had nowhere to stay. The cell phones didn't work down there because we were a bunch of people were on Fido, and Fido didn't work in the States yet. It was that long ago. So I'm flipping out. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I'm walking around, and I go to the gate.
Yeah.
And the guy in the wheelchair's there. So I'm like, "Hey man," he's like, "Hey, what are you doing, man? What are you doing on the outside?" So I kind of explain quickly. He says to his buddy, "Oh, let him in. I know him. Let him in." So that guy saved my life that night, because can you imagine if I was stuck outside with no money and then the riot started and the fires? Jeremy would have been fatherless and Matthew would never have been born.
Yep, and this podcast would not exist.
It wouldn't, or it would be with another father. Who knows?
Well, probably not.
But it was. I remember I was freaked out.
Did you ever find your badge again, or?
No, it must have been when I was crowd surfing and it was in my pocket and just fell out.
Somebody took it.
Or I had it on my neck and I don't know. I think I might have still had the lanyard and the badge was gone.
Okay.
Lanyard's the cord or the belt per se.
So what was your reaction to the riots of
It was scary because we were,
Woodstock?
first of all, we thought it was ridiculous, but we were not.
And wait, what started the riots?
The riots were started because it was a very hot weekend and they were charging like $4 for a bottle of water, and they were really gouging the fans, and they hadn't slept much, and it was a real what's it called, powder keg ready to explode. And I'm not sure what started it. I know they started tipping over outhouses.
Yeah.
And it was muddy, so people were in the mud playing, but it's like some of that shit. It was really gross. But we were at at the main stage, but where we were staying, you had to cross the main area where everybody was to get to the other tent, and then go to our
hotel,
our barracks.
Oh, barracks.
Well, we were in houses that they used to use. It was on an Air Force base, old Air Force base. So all the houses that the Air Force, the military people used to live in, were all abandoned. So they put all the staff in all the houses, which was kind of cool. There was like 12 people per house, and you had inflatable sleeping bags. So we had to drive. The manager of our restaurant was there as well, and he had a Gator, which is like a 6-wheeled little pickup truck. It's really small. You get 2 guys in the front. You can probably fit 5 people in the back. So we all piled in, and he drove us through the fires and people screaming and fighting, and it was freaky. It was really, really freaky experience.
So it's like a zombie
apocalypse. Yeah. It was really. I remember I was scared, but at the same time, I think we had a few beers because it was our last night. So you don't really realize the full effect until you really watch the news next day. You're like, oh my god! Like, I don't know if anybody died, but it was pretty bad.
You know what that little story of you in the car and everyone like losing their minds around you reminds me of?
What's that?
You know, remember La Home, that Halloween?
Oh, that Matthew La Home. Yeah. Matthew and amusement parks were never really 100% because you didn't like roller coasters.
Plus, I do not like zombies and horror stuff. I don't like zombies and horror stuff. So.
You don't like horrors and stuff?
No,
I didn't hear what you said.
Horror.
Like, horror.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. That makes more sense when you're talking about zombies. I'm like, zombie horrors? What?
Well, that's just hot.
That's a fetish. The undead.
No, but yeah. So, do they still do this? Like,
I don't think they do it to that level. But that was funny. That was really funny.
It was like real freaky. They had hired actors and like there was at least 50 actors playing as zombies, and it was like this thing where you would walk a sort of Jurassic Park thing, but it was like with zombies.
The best. I'll pause because the funniest part was Matthew, when he doesn't want to go on a ride, is hilarious in line. He is hilarious because he is panicked. His eyes are darting around, and the line for this was like an hour long. So he is like stressed to the max. He's like an old man. I don't want to do this. Oh my god, freak it out here, people. Go ahead.
And the closer we would get, the louder, and the line, with the closer we would get, we always hear like screams and the music getting louder every time. Stop.
No, I'm doing the sound behind your story.
No, yeah, but like that would like just not help the situation in my head. I was like, I'm gonna get killed. But yeah, so the thing was like a walk around like a park thing, like Jurassic Park.
It was like you're in an apocalyptic.
No, because at first it's like oh look, it's research, we've brought people back to life and blah, blah, blah. And at one point,
but you back up though, you forgot something important.
The plan.
Yeah, so Matthew was so freaked out. We're like, Matt, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put whatever. Whoever came, Matthew probably came up with. He's, Mom and Dad, this is what we're going to do. I'm gonna be between you guys the whole time, and you hold my hands. And we're like, okay, Matt, it's cool. You're being real brave to do this, even though you're freaking out. Oh my god, I don't want to do this. I don't know.
And at like the first zombie breakout, I was gone. I was gone.
So we're in a little group, and it was like, as Matthew said, like a tour. Like, oh, we're coming, we'll stick together, guys, and we have a guide, and there's like maybe 15 people.
So wait, in my head, how you guys were gonna protect me is like the tortoise formation, the Romans.
Yeah,
like
that's what we got
in my
too.
head.
Us as well. So Matthew was, what would he, maybe 8 years old? So Matthew decides. We start, and then the guide who's guiding us through, he's an actor as well. He's like, oh my god, don't make eye contact, don't look at them, but I can see the zombies. And Matthew sprints. We didn't even know he was gone. 1 minute where he's between us, and the next minute we see him like a quarter of a kilometer running past these zombies.
I waited like 2 minutes outside for you guys. It was out so quick.
And so France, we're kind of we were having a good time, but we were freaking out. Like, where'd Matthew go? We were expecting to turn a corner, and Matthew being zombie makeup. I'm a zombie now. But another funny, that was a really funny, and then you're sitting at the exit like, come on, guys.
Because there would still be like blood on the walls at the exit, so that was not epic.
So probably the funniest part of that was, apart from you sprinting away from all the zombies, was your mother was given the task of holding a human severed arm, and she was being tasked with. The guide said, "Okay, when the zombies attack, I'm going to tell you to throw that arm, and it's going to get all the zombies away from us, and we can make an escape." And so my wife is, she's nervous. She's having a good time. She's like, "Oh my God!" So the guy
Where's Matt?
Matt's gone. And the guy says, "Okay, throw the arm, throw the arm, throw the arm." And my wife takes it and just hurls it at the guide and hits him in the back. And we got away, but the guy got eaten. I mean, it's par for the course. It's a zombie wonderland. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So that was great.
Good times. Good times.
I like that. I remember that. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, looks good. We're just over an hour. Nice.
Yeah, nice. And thank you for watching. I have been Matt, and this. What?
Thank you for listening.
Oh yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening through an hour. If you made it this far, if I didn't bore you with all my talking.
No, it was titillating.
Next time I'll try to talk less. No problem.
You did great, man. You did great.
Thanks. So I've been Matt, and this has been my co-host
Jason, and we're Minnie and the Boomer. And have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys a little bit later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.